Well, all right, welcome back for another beer tasting. I'm Kevin with CrafTeeBeer. I found another beer I want to try, so I'm going to experience this beer and share it with you. And you're asking, well, what are we going to experience today? We're going to taste the New England IPA, or a NEIPA. Today's New England style IPA is from DuClaw Brewing. They're in Baltimore, Maryland, and it's the Into the Fire India Pale Ale, 7.1% ABV, 30 IBU. The can says that it's hopped with Citra and Galaxy hops. Galaxy hops, I think, are an Australian hop.
Australia.
Known to be used for when you want a lot of bitter or bittering. And it's also known to have they're also known to be tropical in flavor. The Citra hops are known to be grapefruit and melon in flavor. Again, hop flavors can change based on where how they're used and when they're used in the brewing process.
Things are never the same.
That's what we're in store for. I think a melon tropical bitter IPA. So the New England style IPA was added as an official style by the Brewers Association, I think in 2018, this year.
And I can't believe it's official.
And it's a very juicy, hazy, almost muddy style. The New England style IPA is one of the ones that people describe as really super hazy, super juicy. The juice bomb. And I think part of that cloudiness comes from using maybe wheat and oat in the hops in the grains that are used to brew it. DuClaw Brewing was started in 1996 by Dave Benfield. He ran a couple brew pubs, I guess, and then eventually years later went into a full production brewery. And the Into the Fire name of the beer, I read, was inspired by one of the head brewers who, based on his music or the bands he listened to, inspired the name. So I looked it up. I'm going to go with, I'm guessing it's a band called Asking Alexandria. It's an English rock band. And the song is Into the Fire. So I'm assuming that's the reference, the music reference for this. Labels, the labels are stick-on, the kind you can peel off onto a regular aluminum can. Into the Fire, DuClaw Brewing Company, Baltimore, Maryland. DuClaw logo, I guess. And as I said, there's a band reference, Into the Fire, which those are the lyrics that led me to the band. So a New England style IPA, DuClaw Brewing, hazy, juicy, bitter IPA. Let's get it in the glass and see what we have.
And you need to pour it.
Can smell the juice already. Another beer poured with a large head. So it's 2 or 3 fingers of a foamy white head. As described, a New England style IPA should be completely hazy, so you can't see through it. This is completely hazy, pale yellow color, pale gold. Not quite grapefruit juice, a little more yellow than grapefruit juice, but definitely hazy. And like I said, I can smell the juice already. Give this a little top off there. Another good looking beer.
There, you said it again.
Let's see if we can get an aroma off this, even though we're encapsulated in this big frothy, smooth, creamy head. Tropical fruit, melon, kind of what I expect. Not a super strong nose. All right, let's give it a try. Cheers. Out of the gate, it's good, it's juicy, but the bitter dryness won the race.
Hey! This is not a race, okay?
On the first sip. The juice is there, but that astringent, dry bitterness, probably the Galaxy hops, definitely won the race on the first time through. So not extremely juicy. It's juicy. I got a little bit of almost like there's some sweetness in there. It's not a completely bitter beer. There's some sweetness in there. Is it the malt, or is it something with the hops that made it seem like sweet juice? But it's a sweet juice with a really good bitter punch. Yeah, that weird juicy sweetness. Well, I don't know if it's weird, but is like gaining momentum, like a piece of juicy fruit gum is how I would describe it. So if you had a piece of juicy fruit gum,
Juicy fruit.
that left a bitter, dry aftertaste, that describes this one. Slightly juicy with a good bitter, dry afterthought, follow-up, back end. And that's pretty much where it's at for the experience. I'm going to jump over to Untappd and see what people think about this.
And send them directly to the internet.
On Untappd, the Into the Fire New England Style IPA has a rating of 3.76 with 1,119 ratings. 3.76 seems completely reasonable based on my experience. Let's go over and see what's on Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate has the Into the Fire at 3.9 rating, a very good rating. Seems consistent with my experience and what was on Untappd. Let's jump back to Untappd and I'll check this in real quick and we'll wrap this up. Another one checked in. I went with a 3.25 rating. Gave it the description of a little bit of juice. Juicy fruit gum-like. A good bitter that stays behind, not crazy complex or juicy, but middle of the road goodness. It's a middle of the road New England style IPA.
Well, that's your opinion.
Gave it the flavor profile of hoppy, juicy, and bitter. And of course, I noted that I bought this at my local bottle shop, Nightly Spirits in Orlando. Always a good selection there. And there brings to the end another beer tasting experience. Into the Fire New England Style IPA from DuClaw Brewing. If you've had something from DuClaw Brewing, let me know in the comments. If you know of another great New England Style IPA, let us know. So the social media nonsense is in the description.
Social interaction.
Subscribe, do all that good stuff. Until the next beer tasting experience, I'm Kevin with CrafTeeBeer. Cheers.